Hello guys, so coming to the next topic guys. So this is also one of the very important topic in Java guys, member of class. So in Java, member of class are the elements declared inside a class. They define the data and behavior of an object guys. So there are six main members of Java class: fields, store the data and object; methods define actions or behavior of an object; constructors initialize object when they are created; nested classes interface, and static block and instance initialization block guys. So these are the main member of the class. This is the example of code example of all the member of class guys. Student class, same thing I have taken in code guys. So this student class I have defined. So in this I have taken all the class members like variables and methods, constructors, and instance block, static block, nested class. So on high level I have just shown how to define all those class members guys. Now, coming to the method versus constructor. So this is very frequently asked question guys, and in interview also, and for understanding also we need to understand what is the main differences between method and constructor guys. So method are the main actions, or we can say are operations that perform all the operations, and constructor also one kind of method, but which name is the same as the class name guys, and they don't have any return type. So here is the purpose of main method: performs an operation and behavior, initialize an object, and name can have any valid name and must have same name as the class name guys. And return type must have a return type or void. No return type, no, even not even void also guys for constructor. So this is the high level differences in the method and constructor guys. Now coming to the example of method and constructor guys. So here see, this is the constructor example: student class and the student constructor guys. And this is the method we have taken: void display. Void is the return type, and display is the method name guys. So this is the logic. So for interview point of view guys, a constructor is not a method, even though both can be overloaded and can contain executable statements guys. Now coming to the most important topic in Java coding guys, in Java programming. So OOPS concepts are object oriented programming concepts guys. So object oriented programming is a programming approach where a program is designed using objects and classes guys. So Java is primarily an object oriented programming language, and its OOPS concept help make applications reusable, maintainable, secure, and scalable guys. So there are four main OOPS concept guys in Java. There are multiple, but four are the main: encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. So encapsulation is wrapping data and method together. This is like private getters and setters guys. And inheritance is the acquiring properties and behavior from another class or superclass. This is code reusability, main purpose of this, and this use extends and implements keyword guys. And coming to polymorphism, polymorphism means one name multiple behaviors, one name many forms also. This is for flexibility it is used, and overloading and overriding is the example for polymorphism. And abstraction, abstraction is the hiding implementation details, reduce complexity, and this is abstract and interfaces guys. So one of the important feature of object oriented concept is class and object. So class is a blueprint or template of an object, while an object is the real instance created from that class. And object is a real instance or real entity created from the class. Object has two parts, like state and behavior, guys. State means properties and behavior means methods, guys. So this is the example of object, guys. Encapsulation. So again, encapsulation means wrapping variables and methods into a single unit class and controlling access to the data, guys. So this was the example of encapsulation, guys. Please look into that. And inheritance allows one class to acquire the properties and methods of another class, guys. This is the example of inheritance, guys. Like class car extends vehicle. Vehicle is the interface, a superclass. Now coming to polymorphism. Polymorphism means one name many forms. Polymorphism has two types: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So compile time polymorphism is method overloading, guys. This is the example of method overloading. And method overriding is the runtime polymorphism. So this is the example of the method overriding, guys. Now what is abstraction? Abstraction means hiding implementation details and showing only the necessary functionalities, guys. Java provides abstraction mainly through abstract class and interfaces. This is the basic example of abstraction. So there are some other important OOPS concept also. Here are, apart from all the four, like this is mentioned: class, object, and association, like relationship between the two classes, aggregation, composition, message passing, object communicate by calling methods, and dynamic binding. All these are also part of the OOPS concept, object oriented concept. This is the simple OOPS diagram, guys. Please look into this. And this is some interview tips, guys, for remembering the encapsulation. Sorry, remembering the object oriented concept, the four pillar OOPS concepts. Now coming to the collections, guys. Collection in Java, this is the most important concept in Java and very useful topic, guys. The Java collection framework is a set of interface classes and algorithms provided by the Java to store and manipulate groups of objects efficiently. So the main package of collection is java.util. So here is the Java collection hierarchy, guys. So just look into this, the hierarchy, guys. It will helpful to understand the concept. Coming to map is not a subtype of collection, but it is an important part of Java collection framework, guys. Map main collection interfaces are lists. Here are a list, set, queue, dequeue, and map. So these are the basic information, guys. Please go through all this concept about this collection. This is very important points, guys. Now coming to list, guys. So a list is an ordered collection that allows duplicate elements, guys. This is the example of list, and here is the implementation, common list implementation, guys. Now coming to set, guys. Set does not allow duplicate elements. This is the example of set, guys. And common set implementation is hash set, link hash set, tree set, guys. Now coming to queue. Queue is generally used when elements need to processed in a particular order, or commonly FIFO, first in first out order, guys. So this is the example of queue, and here are the common implementation include priority queue, linked list, and array DQ, guys. DQ. So DQ means double-ended queue, guys. So elements can be added or removed from both the ends. So here are the example of DQ, guys. Now coming to map. Map stores data in key value pairs, and this is the example, like this is the key value pair example, guys, like ID and name, guys. So this is the example of map. Here are the common map implementation: hash map, linked hash map, tree map, and hash table, guys. Please just go through this description also for understanding the about collections, about those collections. Now collection versus collections. So collection versus there are some differences in collection and important differences, guys. So it is an interface, it is an utility class, and root interface for list, set, and queue contains utility methods and represent group of object, provide algorithm for the collection. This is from java util.collection. This is java util.collections class itself. So here is the example, guys. And now coming to the important collection methods. See, here are the many important methods. Add is there, remove is there, contains is there, size is there, is empty is there, clear is there, iterator is there, add all is there, remove all is there. All these are very important method. Please go one by one, guys. This is the hierarchy of Java collection, and this is the map hierarchy, guys. So this is the technique to remember, guys. Now coming to the one of the most important topic, exception handling, guys. So exception handling in Java is the mechanism to use to detect, handle, and recover from runtime problems so that the normal flow of the program can continue. So for example, trying to divide a number by 0 cause an arithmetic exception. So it will give the arithmetic exception, throw the arithmetic exception, guys. So without handling, the program will terminate with an exception, but if will handle the exception properly, so program will not terminate and it will run normally after handling the exception, guys. The further logics or further lines will be executed successfully. So here is the exception hierarchy, guys. Please look into it carefully. So here is the difference between errors and exception, guys. So exception usually we can handle, but error cannot be handled and application get terminated. But in exception, after handling, application will be running smoothly, guys. And like out of memory error, this is the IO exception. The types of exception, guys. So there are two types of exception: checked exception and unchecked exception. Checked exception is checked by the compiler, and this is the examples. And unchecked exception cannot be checked by compilers. So this is the runtime exception, guys. So this is the example of the exception, guys. Please try to implement these exceptions for better understanding. And keywords used in exception handling, these are the keywords: try, catch. So try contains the code that may cause an exception, the risky code. Catch, handle the exception. Finally, execute the cleanup code. And throw, explicitly throw an exception. And throws is declare exception that a method may throw, guys. So try, catch, this is the example, and this is the flow of the exception, how it goes, guys. What exception handling? So multiple catch blocks, guys. So you can handle different exceptions separately, guys, in multiple catch blocks. So here, see, you can see this is the one catch block, this is another catch block. So we can handle the match multiple catch in with multiple catch blocks. Multiple exception can be handled, but they should not be in the same hierarchy. They should be in different hierarchy, guys. And the more specific exception should generally come before the more general exception, guys. So coming to finally, the finally block is used to code that should execute whether an exception occurs or not. So finally block means finally, guys, if any exception happen or doesn't happen, but finally block will execute always, guys. So usually it is used for closing files, releasing resource, or closing database connections, guys. Throw is used to explicitly throw an exception. This is the example of throw, guys. Throws is used in a method declaration to indicate that a method may throw one or more exception, guys. This is the major difference between throw and throws, guys. This is the basic difference. Please look into this, guys. This is try with resources. So this is for resources such as files. For resources such as files, Java provides try with resources, guys. And custom exception, so we can declare our custom exception as per our requirement. So like we can define checked exception and unchecked custom exception both, guys. So here are the difference between exception and error, guys. So this is the complete exception handling flow, guys. Please try to look into this. This is the brief about the exception keywords, like try, put risky code here, catch, handle the exception, finally clean up code, and explicitly throw an exception, throw and throws declare an exception, guys. So probably I have covered the most of the topic, guys, but I know still there are a lot of topics in pending in Java, core Java topic itself. So because lack of time, I have to I have to complete this. So and I have to release this on the 15th of August only. So that's why I am binding it now on this. And if you have any doubt on any topic related, and also there are a lot of topics still missing, please drop me comment and I will cover all the remaining topics, or whatever topics I have covered high level but not in depth, I will cover in detail very soon in new video, guys. So thank you so much watching so far. Hope it is useful and understandable to all of you, guys. So wish you very happy Independence Day and happy learning in further, guys. So we'll meet in next good video, guys. So till then, keep learning and keep growing, guys.